Well, I think what's wonderful about this place is it welcomes such diversity of background and diversity of views.
It's a church that you can't just go to once because it changes from week to week.
But it just really blew me away with the concept of such an open place where you can believe what you want and follow your spiritual path.
It was just people caring about people.
It's a way for me to take my energy, my spiritual nature, and apply it to the good.
It forces me to think about the social justice issues that I probably would ignore if I was not here.
Sometimes I just sit in church and I get there and I sit down and something starts and I'm at that age where I kind of just well up with tears because I feel so grateful to be connected.
First Universalist is an amazing congregation. It has wonderful people in it with a lot of capabilities, but we have not had the kind of direction that I think is synergistic. And because of that, there's a way in which the congregation doesn't own the future of the church.
I find that across our congregations we are disciplined problem solvers, and we are inclined to solve a problem even when it isn't a problem.
Churches need to do strategic planning just like any other organization. They need to refresh and renew themselves from time to time. They need to adapt to what's going on around them in the community.
What do you know about race, class, and privilege?
And in this particular church, we felt those things, but we didn't have the clear sense of where we were going.
So strategic planning makes it possible to move forward with intention.
Well, he gave me a book called The Power of Appreciative Inquiry, and he said, read this book and tell me what you think if it fits for us. And so I did, and I went back to him and I was kind of excited. I said, this is perfect. It's inclusive, it's bottom up, it's positive based, it builds on our strengths. We should do this. So we did.
Appreciative Inquiry focuses on, first of all, what we're doing well currently, and allows us to expand on that.
It fits better than any other kind of prepackaged program I've ever seen, because it does build on shared core values between that process and Unitarian Universalism.
Appreciative Inquiry engages people through that initial one-on-one interview. From the moment that people create that new relationship and that new conversation, they're generally excited and on board with the process.
And so having thoughtful, engaging questions opens up new possibilities because it allows people to go where otherwise they may not have.
And the culture of an organization is really no more than a collection of stories. And if we can change the storyline, we can change that system's relationship with itself and relationship with its future.
And we create something that is called the positive core, which identifies our strengths and lays out an initial set of kind of wishes for the future.
Just more about an interior life.
Have a more visible role in the community.
We could come together on things.
The building itself needs to be a little more friendly.
It would help to have even more people involved in taking leadership roles.
And I think that continuing to look for inspired leadership.
I think we can do more if we can invest more.
To use our hands and our heart and our bodies.
It's the Unitarian Universalist movement that's important, not just the individual churches.
Let's take some time to really discuss at your table group what you think is important about what you learned from the interviews.
When a church begins to have clarity around identity, that energy is released. You know, the wisest thing a minister can do at that point is just get out of the way.
I see Unitarians as independent thinkers, as seekers, a group of people who do not have a herd mentality.
This is what I love about working with a group that's already way ahead of the curve.
This process, which is open and inclusive, the newest member and the oldest member have the same weight in this process.
It's engaging because the stories that are collected and then disseminated back through the system begin to change the buzz.
People have the motivation.
Yeah, I think that's a good start.
People of all generations. Well, that's a good point.
So this artwork is a reflection of their voice, and I am just a vessel putting it out there, just hearing what I have heard and drawing a picture for it.
The power of that social network, of that community that has been strengthened, is key to the unfolding of whatever plan you all develop.
This allows us to get outside of that boundary and I think look forward in thoughtful ways.
So dream a little bit now. 5 years from today, what's that going to feel like? In the best case scenario, if everything works out.
Appreciative inquiry unlocks a huge surge of energy. Continue to reach out and engage people. Continue to ask questions. And if you are able to continue to execute on the principles, that's when things catch.
We are sustaining and building diverse membership.
First Universalist Church worship is a transformative experience.
This dynamic and engaging religious education programs.
I think we have a compelling vision, the idea of trying to make First Universalist a center of transformation, and I believe that through this planning process we will accomplish exactly that.
It's powerful in a gentle way. It's powerful in an empowering way. So it has much to offer us.
I think that Appreciative Inquiry hits the right note for this church at this time and is likely to do so for other Unitarian churches at most any time because it's a good fit with Unitarian outlook and philosophy.